Hey, what's going on YouTube? So basically, if you didn't already know, in the next season, Season 14 of Destiny 2, the perk Quickdraw is actually going to be receiving a nerf. One of the things that makes this perk so strong right now is the fact that in addition to actually increasing your weapon's draw speed, it also gives a plus 100 invisible bonus to your handling stat. So basically you don't need snapshot because it already gives you that, and it also increases your stow time, so you don't really need dexterity mods either. Additionally, if you're running max range barrels like rifled, let's say, it gives you plus 10 to your range but also minus 14 to your handling, and realistically that should have a downside of making your shotgun incredibly slow, but it doesn't because Quickdraw completely negates the downside minus 14 handling of that barrel. So basically you can just max out your range on all your shotguns without worrying about it as long as you have Quickdraw. One of the things that's supposed to be so bad about shotguns like Astral Horizon and Felwinter's Lie, let's say, because they have crazy impacts, the handling is just incredibly low naturally. So even if you use crazy handling barrels like Barrel Shroud, let's say, a handling Masterwork, the handling still won't be crazy high. So there is a downside to the gun. It will map people, but it will also take a little while to pull out, right? So basically, Bungie's taking away the plus 100 handling stat, so you'll only have Quickdraw on your gun. You'll be able to pull it out a lot faster, but after that, there's no snapshot and there's no faster stow speed. In addition to these nerfs, Bungie is actually also going to take away Quickdraw entirely from Astral Horizon and Felwinter's Lie, just because it'll still be a strong perk even after it's nerfed, on shotguns specifically. In a future video, I'll talk about how the nerf is going to affect primaries and whatnot, but regarding shotguns only, it's still going to be super strong. So basically, in this video, I'm just going to show you some alternatives that you can use when it gets nerfed. Keep in mind though, Felwinter will still be a crazy good shotgun because it's going to be replaced with Surplus, which essentially for every charged ability you have, like a dodge, either a rift, a grenade, a melee let's say, for every charged ability you have it'll increase your handling, stability, and reload speed of your gun. So it can effectively act as Quickdraw if you have 3 abilities saved up, which is incredibly strong, just not nearly as good as Quickdraw currently is. Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you the top 3 shotguns that you should be looking out for next season that will probably actually replace Felwinter's Lie. So the first one is going to be Astral Horizon, which you can get from either 3, 5, or 7 wins on a given week in trials, and you can also get the better Adept version from going flawless some weeks. Retold Tale, which you can get from the Dreaming City. You can actually do bounties from Petra to get random legendaries. You can also get Waking Vigil this way actually, which is a really good hand cannon. And Shattered Throne can also give you Retold Tale. It's a dungeon, it's pretty quick if you know how to do it, so just run that. You can do it on all 3 characters and have a chance at it every week. And then the last shotgun I'm going to show you is Toil and Trouble. This is a Vanguard shotgun that you can get from turning in tokens to Zavala. You can also get it from Cryptarch, the 25 Legendary Shard engrams, as well as the Gunsmith and Lord Shaxx engrams. It's very rare from all of this, but there are so many ways to get it that you should be seeing these drop every now and then, especially if you're willing to give up some materials. But another way to get Toil and Trouble as well is you can go to the Prismatic Recaster here in the helm. You can focus your Umbral to worldly weapons and then just turn them in. So actually I'm going to do that right now. I have a couple saved up and see if I can get a good one here. Oh, that's a Toil and Trouble, alright. Let's check that roll. Yikes, okay, never mind. That's pretty trash. We're going to keep going here. Alright, so my luck was pretty bad farming for that Toil and Trouble, but anyway, I'm going to show you what rolls I'm looking for and what you should be looking for too, because it's going to be a crazy good shotgun next season. It's a kinetic, so you can actually run Palindrome with it, which is the best hand cannon in the game right now, and I can make a video on that in the future, but here we go. So starting off with the barrels, I don't think Rifled is going to be good anymore. It's going to take away handling, and you really do not want that with Quickdraw being gone. Smoothbore, that's going to increase the range, but it also gives you increased pellet spread, so just the consistency with that barrel is going to be really bad, and consistency is key when it comes to shotguns. Small bore's okay. It gives you some range, doesn't take away any handling, so definitely not too shabby there, but also not the best. I think Barrel Shroud could be a top tier option, to be totally honest. It'll give +9 to the handling. It'll do nothing to the range. But the snappier a shotgun is, the faster you can pull it out, the more time you have to fully ADS, and the more time you kind of just have to line up your shot. So you will still be mapping people with this barrel, and that is going to be a top tier option. Corsair's okay. It's pretty mediocre. It just kind of gives a little bit to everything. Definitely not too top tier because you really don't care about stability on shotguns. You just want range and you want handling. So full choke actually I think is currently the best barrel. It'll tighten your projectile spreads, so basically you'll have maximum consistency. You'll be doing a lot of damage from very long distances, and even though it costs you some precision damage, you're not going to be aiming for the head anyway. With shotguns, you want to aim center mass around their waist actually, so slightly lower than center mass, and I can make a video on that in the future as well. But yeah, so full choke is going to be the barrel we're starting with. And then next up, I don't think assault mag is going to be very good on aggressives because it does increase the rate of fire, but ideally with an aggressive you're using that because you want to map somebody in the first shot. So getting that second shot is rarely going to happen anyway, even if you speed it up. And in that case you could also just melee them. So appended mag is going to be pretty bad. You don't want anything in a magazine, so that's going to take away tactical, extended, and steady rounds takes away your range actually, so that's going to be pretty bad too. Accurize is definitely going to be the play here, giving you +9 to range with no negatives, no downsides. Light mag's okay, it gives you pretty much half the range of Accurize, a little less actually, and reload speed is pretty unnecessary on shotguns, so definitely Accurize is the way to go here. Moving on, we're going to look at slide shot. That's actually really, really good. If you don't care too much about the handling of your gun, slide shot is going to be nuts. It gives you some reload, it gives you increased range, and it makes the shotgun really consistent if you're sliding, and you just get ammo back, so it's a really, really solid perk. I love this one. I used to run it on minebenders all the time until I got sunset, unfortunately. Looking down, we're going to see threat detector. This is actually the go-to perk, and I'll go through the others first. So field prep, pretty bad. If you're crouching, it makes your shotgun better, but you get increased reload and handling, but it's really not that noticeable. Full auto, definitely not. You're not going to try to get multiple shots off with an aggressive frame, and you can just click twice pretty easily. There's no need to hold down the trigger. Pulse monitor will increase the handling a little bit, and it'll give you some ammo back, but only when you're critically wounded, so that's not ideal either, because if you're critically wounded, I mean, you're probably going to die anyway. You want something that's a bit more consistent. Like, this could come in clutch, but threat detector within 15 meters, so basically when you're within shotgun range, your gun's going to get buffed. You're going to have increased reload, stability, and handling. That's key, handling right there. So threat detector is going to work as a mini quick draw basically, and we're also going to want to combo that with snapshot. That's the only handling perk on this list. Autoloading is pretty bad. Moving target's actually a really interesting perk because it will increase the consistency of your pellets by giving you that extra aim assist, but that's going to be in the next roll I show. Outlaw, you don't want to reload, and Rampage is really good for quick play, but for every other mode, any kind of like 3v3 or trials, survival, I think the most consistently good perk is going to be snapshot. Once again, handling I believe is key on shotguns because it gives you just more time to focus on your shot and actually getting the map on the person and shooting them first, which is really important. So even if you don't have a crazy amount of range, it's not going to matter if you actually get the first shot off if you're both basically on top of each other. So looking at the masterwork, I just put +10 to range. That's pretty much a no-brainer right there. You want your shotgun to map as much as possible. Threat detector and snapshot are a really, really good combo for basically giving you quick draw, or what quick draw is in this season at least. So yeah, there's the roll. Crazy range, crazy handling with these two perks, tight pellet spread, so crazy consistency as well, and it's an aggressive frame. So this is going to be a very, very top tier roll. And a top tier shotgun just in general. Even if you don't get this exact roll, it's still going to be really, really solid. I've been testing it out a little bit, and I'll show you some gameplay later in this video actually. Alright, so moving on to the next possible Toil and Trouble roll. We're going to start off with, we're just going to go for max handling here. I'll just show you right off the bat. It's going to be Barrel Shroud, it's going to be Accurized, it's going to be Threat Detector, and then Moving Target is the next one that you want to run. And then we're actually going to change up the masterwork. It's going to be +10 handling. So basically, you're getting a decent amount of range with Accurize here, although not a ton. You're going to add to the consistency of the shotgun with Moving Target. Threat Detector is also giving it a mini quick draw, but combined with Barrel Shroud and a handling masterwork, the handling on this thing is just going to be insane. So if you've ever pulled out your shotgun and had it jam, that's most likely because of a really low handling stat. So basically, the more handling you have, the easier it is to shoot your gun, basically. Pull it out, ADS it, shoot it. So this is going to be the most consistent roll you can have. But then the full choke one I showed you previously is going to be the one that gives you crazy handling and also crazy map potential. So you could be fine with either of these rolls. They're both incredibly solid. And then obviously for mods on all of the shotguns I'm going to show you, you're going to want Icarus Grip. On the Adept Astral Horizon, however, you're going to want Adept Icarus just because it gives you more range. But having that accuracy in the air is just really, really strong. It keeps your shotgun consistent at all times and will just help you map people with all your shots. So the next shotgun I'm going to show you guys is the Astral Horizon. I'm going to go with the Adept version right now just because it's slightly better than the regular. You get this from going flawless in trials. Just because the Adept Icarus mod gives you +4 to the range stat, and also if you do a masterwork, let's say like the stability masterwork, it'll give you stability, but it'll also slightly buff every other stat on the gun. So it's just a little bit better than the regular version, but not much. So whatever you can get a solid roll on, you definitely want to use. And starting off, we kind of went over barrels already with the Toil and Trouble, so either Barrel Shroud or Full Choke, those are going to be top tier. The first roll I'm going to show you is with Full Choke. So Full Choke, definitely accurize. I don't really agree with Assault Mag on aggressive frames because you only want to get one shot off ideally. Accurize will maximize your consistency and maximize your range, so definitely go with that. Quick Draw is being removed from Astral Horizon, from all existing Astral Horizons and all new ones, so you can't get that. Definitely Surplus is going to be the play. That's what it's going to be replaced with if you already have an Astral with Quick Draw. So Surplus to buff that handling because Pulse Monitor does it at the wrong time. None of these buff your handling, so yeah, definitely Surplus. And then moving on, Celerity is actually going to get buffed. So if you're the last Guardian alive, we're only really going to look at handling here, but it buffs your handling, but it can also kind of act as a moving target. So that's going to be really, really solid for game modes like Trials and Comp. But next season, it's also going to give you +20 base handling, even when you're not the last Guardian alive. So this plus Surplus can pretty much act like Quick Draw. And because these perks give you so much handling, or will give you so much handling next season, definitely go for a range masterwork. Buff that range as much as possible, buff that consistency, and then plus Adept Icarus. That's 54 range. That's pretty solid. Plus 38 handling. That's also really decent with 2 handling perks, so that's a really solid first roll. The second one I could go for, and you can also use any combination of these perks I'm showing you, would be Barrel Shroud, actually. Barrel Shroud, because it doesn't give you any range, definitely accurized. And then Surplus, the only handling roll in this column again. But also with this, you could go with Opening Shot. Because of that, we're not getting the handling buff from Celerity, so we're going to go for a handling masterwork. But Opening Shot, what it does is increases your consistency and your range. So it sort of acts as moving target and a range buff. So your shotgun will consistently map people because it pretty much acts on every shotty shot. Like if you're using an auto rifle or something, Opening Shot's pretty trash, but it resets every single time you shoot your shotgun just because it's so slow. So this roll will have crazy handling, crazy range because of the Opening Shot, really good consistency. And yeah, this is the second one I would go for on Astral Horizon. Alright, so the final shotgun that I'm going to be showing you guys is the Retold Tale. This is a precision frame shotgun, so it's going to have a relatively high base handling stat, as well as really high base range. It's going to be super consistent. It's also energy, so you can run it with Dire, and that makes it different than the Astral Horizon and Toil and Trouble that I showed you earlier. Also, something else that makes this gun super special is the fact that it can roll Quick Draw and a Snapshot. So even though Quick Draw is getting nerfed, the only thing the nerf is doing is basically removing the intrinsic Snapshot from it. So if you use Quick Draw and Snapshot, it's basically going to be like the old way that Quick Draw was. So starting off, you can actually run Rifle because we're going to put Quick Draw and Snapshot on it just by default here because those are the two best rolls. It's going to make your gun super, super snappy, super fast. So the handling stat actually doesn't matter on this gun anymore because of these two perks. So moving on, the range is actually already really, really high because of Rifle, so we don't need to use Accurized, and it's also high base because of it being a precision frame. And because of the higher rate of fire, you actually might want to go for 2 taps with this gun from pretty far ranges. So Assault Mag will actually help you do that. It increases it to 70 rounds per minute, which is really good for a shotgun that can map like this one. And also, you're not really losing anything from not running Accurize, because since the range is already so high, you're getting diminishing returns from getting that plus 10 after it's already at 78. And moving on to the Masterwork, once again, handling doesn't matter because of Quickdraw and Snapshot being on this gun. So definitely you want to go for more range here. This also makes it so you really don't need to run Accurized. I mean, it's really good, don't get me wrong, you can run that instead of Assault Mag, but just for that extra, consistency, if you mess up, or let's say your shotgun doesn't kill for whatever reason, you can actually get the second shot off with this gun. So Assault Mag will help you do that. Definitely, once again, Icarus Grip, that's the mod you're going to want to run, and yeah, there's the Retold Tale. Alright, so let's get into some gameplay. I'm going to start off by showing you my Toil and Trouble. I'm going to do 3 rumbles, and I've got Barrel Shroud, I've got Threat Detector, Accurized. Pretty lucky with those perks. Unfortunately, I got Outlaw and a Reload Masterwork, so definitely not ideal there, but you can definitely see how Threat Detector is going to work with this shotgun. The next one I'll show you is going to be Retold Tale. I'll be able to show off Surplus, definitely not an ideal roll, but still pretty solid. It'll be good next season. You definitely want that Quickdraw Snapshot roll though, but this can kind of show you how Surplus will act next season when it replaces Quickdraw. And the final shotgun I'll show you is Astral Horizon. I don't have a, I'll use this one. I don't really have the new roll yet, but this is my max handling roll pretty much. I don't have the Surplus Threat Detector, or no, Surplus Celerity, but yeah, I'll be running this, kind of show you how the shotgun is in case you haven't used it yet or haven't seen it yet. And yeah, enjoy. And briefly, before I start playing, I stream live every weekend on Twitch. I do Trials Help, so if you're looking to get Astral Horizon, I can help you get to the Lighthouse to get that Adept one, or get the one from 3, 5, or 7 wins on a given week. And yeah, also if you just want to see my general gameplay, I will be using the shotgun a lot this weekend, and then I will be using Toil and Trouble and Retold a lot next season. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description. Definitely come check me out. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and think about subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.